Hello! Happy World Book Day, everyone! So, let's have a look. We are live. Right, let me pin that. Fantastic. Okie dokie. Hello, happy World Book Day. We are going to be doing a Scooby-Doo story time to celebrate World Book Day. And this is a choose your own adventure story. So once we have some viewers, we will let you choose which story to pick. Now let me have a look. So you should see a poll somewhere. Hello everyone! Welcome to a Scooby-Doo story time. A choose your own adventure story time. So, my name is Fred Jones. I am the leader of Mystery Incorporated, and tonight, to celebrate World Book Day, we will be reading one of these Scooby-Doo choose your own adventure stories. Now, before we can read one of these, I need you to make the first decision. If you could please answer the poll that you should see. I'm asking you to choose between the 4 books. We have The House on Spooky Street, The Mystery of Mayhem Mansion, The Case of the Fright Flight, or The Case of the Clown Carnival. Now, while you're deciding which story we are going to read tonight, I should specify this live stream is brought to you by Chaos Cards, who very kindly sent us a copy of Scooby-Doo the board game, which we are very excited to play. Now tonight we'll be going through these Scooby-Doo stories. On Sunday, however, 1 p.m, we'll be playing this. Some of the gang and I will be playing this, and we'll be doing a giveaway. So, if you would like to support the Scottish Scooby Gang, please support Chaos Cards, as they are the ones making this a reality, our dreams a reality. They sent us this for free. Hello! Hello, Ava! Hello! So, out of interest, can you see the poll that I set up? Asking which story to choose. Hello! You're very welcome, Ava. So Ava is one of our regular quiz members, and she has... Oh dear, you can't see the poll. Right. That's annoying. Alright. Hopefully that appears soon. But yes, we'll wait a few minutes. Not Shaggy, I'm afraid. Fred. So, we are going to be doing a Scooby-Doo story time to celebrate World Book Day. And then on Sunday at 1 p.m, we will be doing our Scooby-Doo board game live stream and giveaway. So please join us for that. We also have another we also have another live stream. Another live stream happening that day at 7 p.m, and that is our Pokemon live stream. Well, we did have Scooby Snacks. They're right here. But somebody ate them all. Somebody ate them all, unfortunately. Oh, right. So I'm afraid we'll have to do without. Ava, please do. Absolutely, please do. We definitely need to get Ava on to host with us. Excellent. Right. So, just to clarify, it is World Book Day, and we will be reading one of these stories. The Mystery Machine. The Mystery Machine is parked nice and safe. Why are you holding Scooby like that? I'm not meaning to. He's just very annoying and heavy. There we go. Is that better? We are good. We are very good. We are going to do a World Book Day. I'm so used to doing quizzes on these live streams. A World Book Day read through of one of these stories. So, for some reason, the poll that I set up has not worked. I'm wondering if it'll come on in 5 minutes. So we will be setting. So, in the chat, if you could all vote on The House on Spooky Street, The Mystery of Mayhem Mansion, The Case of the Fright Flight, or The Case of the Clown Carnival. And whichever one gets the most votes will be the book that is chosen. Now, these are choose your own adventure stories. So as we go through, I'll make you make other choices. Who to follow, what to do with them, etc. Will you go left? Will you go right? Will you follow Fred? Will you follow Daphne or Velma or Shaggy or Scooby? That's fine. I am doing this live stream very unannounced. Just for a bit of fun, because I realised it was World Book Day today. We have another live stream, another Scooby-Doo live stream on Sunday at 1 p.m. and a Pokemon quiz on Sunday at 7 p.m. So it's going to be a busy, busy day on Sunday. Hi, Alfie. Excellent. So, have we made a decision on what story we are going to do? Are we going to do The House on Spooky Street, The Mystery of Mayhem Mansion, The Case of the Fright Flight, or The Case of the Clown Carnival? Which one are we going to do? I think you need to upgrade the phone. Oh, is it glitching again? I was hoping my Wi-Fi would hold out tonight. The first one, Jess has voted the first one. The House on Spooky Street. Okay. Yes, I very much appreciated those pictures, Ava. Thank you. Now, just before we begin, this live stream and this content is brought to you by Chaos Cards, who very kindly sent us this board game, which I've been dying to play. So on Sunday afternoon, we'll be playing that board game and possibly even another board game, and we'll be doing a giveaway. So please support Chaos Cards. They have a lot of really amazing games that we want to test out in cosplay. So hopefully this promotion goes well. If you guys support them, you support us. And if you support them, they support us. Yay, fantastic, Ava. So, let's begin with our Choose Your Own Adventure story to celebrate World Book Day. Yes, we are back. We are back. So, if you do want to support us, we have a few ways you can do that. You can support us directly on Ko-fi, ko-fi/Scottish Scooby Gang. You can financially support us there. You can look up the product that is linked in this stream and will be linked on all videos promoting the Sunday stream. So please go check out Chaos Cards. Go check out their products. And please check out our live stream on Sunday. Another another way to support us is just joining. You know, if you don't have the financial means, 100% understand. But a way to support us is to join our Sunday night live streams, our 7 p.m. live streams. So this Sunday you're getting 2 live streams, one at 1 p.m., one at 7. The 7 one is the Pokemon theme one that I announced earlier. So, the Scooby-Doo live stream in which we will be playing this game is Sunday 1 p.m. Sorry, I know it's confusing. There's lots of live streams to keep track of. Sunday 1 p.m. we'll be playing this. And that's when we'll be running the giveaway. Tonight, we'll be reading a Scooby-Doo book, a Choose Your Own Adventure book. At 7 p.m, there is a Pokemon quiz on Sunday. Sunday, 7 p.m. Right, let's... Hello, Barry! Hello! Good to see you again. Right, let's continue, and I'll clarify any questions we've got about the live streams later, but let's kick off. So, I'm going to do my best to emulate as many of the voices as I can. Apologies, I'm not the best voice actor. That's why we need William on these things. But let's celebrate World Book Day and have a nice story time. So this is Scooby-Doo, the house on Spooky Street. I know, Barry. It has been many, many years. And yet I'm still dressing up just as I did when we were kids. Like, are we there yet? Shaggy asks for the 10th time from the back of the mystery machine. Not yet, Velma laughs as she answers for the 10th time. The Mystery Incorporated gang drives along the historic streets of New Orleans. They're on a mission to find their favourite celebrity chef's famous food joint. Of course it's got something to do with food. After a day of sightseeing, Shaggy and Scooby are looking forward to gumbo, grits, and everything barbecue. Fred drives the mystery machine down a street lined with old mansions and huge trees. Long ribbons of Spanish moss hang from the branches like grey rags. I think we took a wrong turn, Fred says as he looks around at the neighbourhood. There isn't a single restaurant in sight. That's weird. I followed the directions the restaurant gave me on the phone. Thank you, Shaggy. Shaggy moans. Oh, now we'll never get to eat Chef Emeril's raging Cajun barbecue place. Scooby whimpers sadly at missing out on the feast he and Shaggy had imagined. Don't worry, guys. I'll just turn around and... Fred starts to say. Suddenly, the mystery machine begins to sputter and slow. The van comes to a stop on the side of the residential street. Fred turns the key, but nothing happens. The mystery machine is dead. Don't tell me we ran out of gas, Daphne says. Okay, I won't. Because we didn't, says Fred, and points to the gas gauge on the van's dashboard. The arrow still points to a half-full tank. Maybe there's something wrong with the engine, Velma suggests. I'll go check under the hood, Fred says and climbs out of the van. Like I don't want to be stuck here. It's creepy looking. Shaggy shivers as he gazes at the shadowy mansions. These homes are classic examples of antebellum architecture, Velma explains. I read all about them before we came to New Orleans. Suddenly, they hear a loud bang, and the van bounces. Zoinks! Shaggy squawks as his hair stands on end. He and Scooby hug each other in terror. Relax, guys. That was Fred closing the hood, Daphne assures her fearful friends. I can't find anything wrong with the engine, but the mystery machine is dead, Fred declares. I guess we'll have to call for a tow truck. Fred pulls out his cell phone, but it's as dead as the mystery machine. Daphne and Velma try their phones, but their devices don't work either. Well, we're clearly out of 1969, aren't we, if they've got their cell phones. Yes, these are the Choose Your Own Adventure stories. All of our phones are dead. That's just weird, Daphne declares. Like, do you have to use the word dead in a spooky place? Shaggy asks. We're going to have to find a landline, Fred decides. He starts walking towards the nearest mansion. Wait for us, says the rest of the gang, and they pile out the van. So Fred leads the way up to the house. The trees loom over the walkway and drapes of moss hang like tattered curtains. The air is as still and as unmoving as a dead man's chest. Fred knocks on the antique wooden door. A tall, thin man opens it and stands as silent as a statue. His frown looks like it's carved in stone. Our van broke down and our cell phones are dead. May we use your landline? Fred gulps, intimidated by the imposing figure. The man gestures for the kids to enter. As soon as the gang steps over the threshold, the door shuts behind them with a haunting boom. They enter a foyer filled with oil paintings. The stern faces of the mansion's past owners stare down at the kids. Shaggy and Scooby shiver under their fierce gaze. That's weird. He just disappeared, Fred says as he looks around the house for the man that let them into the house. I guess we have to go find a phone by ourselves, Daphne concludes. Let's split up, Fred decides. Classic Fred. As the gang heads off in different directions, no one notices that a pair of eyes watches them from one of the portraits. And this is where I need your help, guys. As I've mentioned, this is a choose your own adventure story. So, I need you to decide, are we going to follow Shaggy and Scooby? If so, we'll turn to page 12. Are we going to follow Fred and Velma? Turn to page 14. Or to follow Daphne? Turn to page 16. So, who are we going to follow? We have three choices. We can follow Fred and Velma. We can follow Daphne. Or we can follow Shaggy and Scooby. I'll wait for you guys to make a decision in the chat. So the ginger one, I assume you mean Daphne. So we've got a couple of votes for Daphne, a couple of votes for Fred and Velma. I'll wait a few more minutes for a consensus. You can vote for Scooby if you want. Who are we going to follow? So I'll give you a couple more minutes. Leave your votes in the chat. So we've got Shaggy and Scooby. Turn to page 12. Fred and Velma. Turn to page 14. Or to follow Daphne. Turn to page 16. Cammy. Oh no, Cammy's back. Cammy was on our Batman Villains live stream. And now Clayface is a bit of a running joke. Some people think they are funny. They are not. This is why I wish I had Nick here. Hi, Jesse. So, who are we going with? Final decisions, guys. Final decisions. Who are we going with? Shaggy and Scooby, Fred and Velma, or Daphne? Let me count up the votes. I think the most votes are for Fred and Velma. So let's... I don't know. We'll find out. You gotta stay tuned to find out if it can end badly. Or... We've got another vote for Scooby. Scooby for the win? Are we going for Scooby and Shaggy? Okay, let's follow Scooby and Shaggy. I think we're getting more votes for Scooby and Shaggy now. Turn to page 12. Scoobs and I will look for a phone in the kitchen, Shaggy announces as the gang splits up. The two pals trot off down one of the hallways leading from the foyer. Like, I hope we find a snack. I'm hungry, Shaggy says. Ree-roo-ree, Scooby agrees with a sigh. Like we're gonna miss out on Chef Emeril's shrimp gumbo, and his shrimp stew, shrimp soup, shrimp kebabs, fried shrimp, shrimp and grits, Shaggy recites. The pair continues to dream about the celebrity chef's different delicious dishes, until they finally find the mansion's kitchen. Suddenly, their conversation stops dead. I'm doing my best with the voices. I'm doing my best. It's not my skill set usually. This is usually William's forte, is the voices. Their jaws drop open, and their eyes expand as wide as pie plates. Like, do you see what I see, Scoops? Shaggy gulps in disbelief. Huh? Shaggy and Scooby stand in the doorway to the mansion's modern kitchen. Shiny pots and pans gleam like stars in the sky. The side-by-side double refrigerators are as large as the Mystery Machine. Like, this isn't a kitchen. It's heaven, Shaggy proclaims. The pals forget all about finding a phone. Of course they do. That was never their intention. Are we shocked? Is anyone shocked over this? They head straight for the fridge. The doors open to reveal enough food to feed a southern army. Like, maybe I'm not going to miss Chef Emeril's place after all, Shaggy says and reaches for a barbecued turkey leg. Y'all just hold up there, boys, a strict voice commands. What y'all doing in my kitchen? Shaggy and Scooby freeze in mid-grab. When they turn to face the owner of the voice, they gasp in surprise. A figure dressed in all white stands before them. It's a roast, Scooby yelps. So, another voting time. Do Shaggy and Scooby run away, or are they frozen in fear? Why aren't you actually invested? I know, right? So what we're thinking, are they running? There isn't an option for they kiss, I'm afraid. I'm getting conflicting ones. I've got one vote for running, one vote for frozen in fear. Another vote for frozen. I'll give you a few more minutes, guys. Put your votes in now. Are we going with if Shaggy and Scooby run away, turn to page 18, or if Shaggy and Scooby stand frozen in fear? Oh, we've got conflicting votes. Alright, so what's that? What are we going with? I'm getting a mix. They run. Time's up, they run. Oh, I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, looks like we've got... Yeah, no, I think you're right. Shaggy and Scooby run away, I think is getting the votes, and I think you're right. We're gonna go with running. If Shaggy and Scooby run away, turn to page 18. Scoobs, that's not a ghost. That's a chef, Shaggy assures the horrified hound. They always dress in white. But Shaggy has a change of opinion when the figure rises into the air and screeches. Like, of course, I could be wrong about that. Run! Every limb spins on the terrified twosome. Their arms and legs churn like boat propellers. Like, why isn't the scenery changing? Shaggy wonders. He and Scooby seem to be going nowhere despite their speed. Ritz Radas! Scooby gulps. The ghost has them both by their collars. We're ruined. Zoinks! Put it into overdrive, Scoob! Shaggy shouts. The pals rev up the revolutions on their fast and furious feet. They zoom around the kitchen, dragging the startled spectre with them. Bong! Bing! Bang! They run into the pots and pans hanging from the ceiling rack. At last, the scary spook loses its grip on Shaggy and Scooby. It lands on the kitchen floor with a stock pot over its head. The impact makes the cooking vessel ring like Big Ben. Shaggy and Scooby never notice. They're so terrified they kept running. They stop only when they face a wall of food. Screech! Their heels skid to a halt. Like, am I dreaming, Scoobs? Shaggy whispers in awe at what he sees. If you are, I am too, Scooby slobbers. The pals swivel their heads to gaze at shelves crammed with jars of homemade jams and jellies. Stacks of baked pies stretched to the ceiling. Those two get really easily distracted. Stacks of baked pies stretched to the... There's not really any pictures. Sorry, guys. I will show you pictures when there are pictures. Stacks of baked pies stretched to the ceiling. A rack filled with cooling pastries take up another wall of the room. Like we're in pie paradise, Shaggy sighs. What's wrong? Scooby yelps. He points his paw at something behind his pal. The chef swoops straight at them. So, if Shaggy and Scooby escape the ghost, turn to page 32. But if Shaggy and Scooby get caught, turn to page 48. So what do we think? What do we think? Do they escape or are they caught? I'm glad. Got one vote for... Oh, got one vote for escape. One vote for getting caught. Caught, escape. Oof, you guys are conflicted. I thought there'd be more consensus. Oh, looks like we're getting... Oh. Looks like we're going with caught. Looks like we're going with caught. If Shaggy and Scooby get caught, turn to page 48. The spirit looms in the pantry door with a menacing scowl on its pale face. It shakes a ghostly rolling pin at Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. Zoinks! We're cornered! Shaggy yells. The room has no windows. There's no escape. We're ruined! Scooby whimpers. The ghost cackles. An eerie chuckle and slides across the small room towards the two pals. Suddenly, Shaggy holds up his hand in a gesture for the spook to stop. And the horrifying phantom halts. Like, Don't we get a last meal? Shaggy asks. The ghost scratches its head and shrugs. Shaggy takes that as a yes and grabs a pile of pies. So he chomps down on one and grins with his mouth full of blueberries. Oh, delicious! This is the best pie I've ever had. Really? The ghost asks, smiling. I made it myself. You bet. Here, you should have some, Shaggy says and pushes a whole pie in the ghost's face. The spectre staggers away from the two pals. It bumps into a stack of flour sacks and falls. The bags break open and cover the ghost with white flour from its horrible head to its horrible toes. Run! Shaggy shouts to Scooby. The frightened friends run over the spook and out of the pantry. They look around the kitchen for a place to hide. Scooby jumps into a huge empty soup pot, but there's no room for Shaggy, so he disguises himself as a string mop. He plops a bowl of cooked spaghetti on his head and stands as stiff as a rod. Shaggy peers out from the spaghetti noodles and watches the ghost burst out of the pantry. The ghoul looks around for Scooby and Shaggy, but it doesn't see them anywhere. Shaggy almost heaves a sigh of relief, but then he realizes the ghost isn't leaving the kitchen. Instead, the spook starts cooking. Shaggy tries not to gulp too loudly as he sees the spectre chop vegetables and dump them in the pot where Scooby is hiding. Next, it tosses in some herbs, Cajun spices, and pieces of chicken and sausage. Shaggy realizes that Scooby is about to become the secret ingredient for a special southern gumbo. This could take a really dark turn, guys. No! Scooby-Doo, I'll save you! Shaggy shouts and abandons his disguise. The ghost is startled by Shaggy's sudden appearance. So is Scooby. He pokes his head out the pot, snacking on some okra and shrimp. Tasty! Scooby declares. Run, Scoob, or you're gonna be what's for dinner! Shaggy warns his pal. As soon as Scooby-Doo realizes where he is, he leaps straight out of the pot. He collides with the pot rack above his head. Clang! Bang! Suddenly, Scooby-Doo is wearing the cookware. Oh, sorry, there's a funny picture. I did say I would show you pictures. There we are. We happy? We have pictures? Can everyone hear me? Sorry, I'm testing out a new microphone. So... Sorry, I'm just muting some people. Loud and clear, perfect. Okay. Sorry, Scooby wearing cookware. Right, 58. Scooby leaps out of the cook pot and comes down holding a fry pan in one paw to face the fearsome phantom of the kitchen. Scooby's tangle with the pot rack leaves him covered in accidental skillet armor. Suddenly inspired, Scooby strikes a martial arts pose. Let's see if I can give you an idea. Hong Kong Phooey. Like your samurai, Scooby-Doo, Shaggy says. He straps on a baking sheet and some pie plates. It's time for a little kung pao action. The ghost chef gasps at the sight of Shaggy and Scooby garbed in shiny stainless steel. They look like knights in gleaming armor. Then the ghoul's face turns into a gruesome grimace. Now it's time for Shaggy and Scooby to strike a new pose. Frozen in fear. Ah, so all those wanting Frozen in fear, we got it. We got it. Like zoinks, we're doomed, cries Shaggy. Suddenly, Scooby-Doo dives back in the gumbo stew pot, and he swims a few laps around the edge, and then sits inside the vessel, as if it's a hot tub. And we even have a picture of Scooby being silly, having a little bath. Rummy! Scooby says and gulps down a ladle of gumbo. No! You've ruined my recipe! The ghost protests. Like it tastes good to me, Shaggy says as he slurps a bowl full of Scooby-flavoured soup. That wording is upsetting. What do you know of Cajun cuisine? The spices, the sausage, the... Uh-oh. The ghost stumbles to a halt. You've figured out who I am. Like you're no ghost, Shaggy proclaims. You're a real live chef. And a good one, too. Hee. Scooby agrees. Really? The Spectre sighs. He takes off his spooky mask to reveal a human face. You're the first ones to say that. The rest of my family doesn't think I have any talent. Suddenly, the rest of Mystery Inc. bursts into the kitchen. We heard all the noise and came to investigate, Fred says. What's going on? Scooby and Shaggy take the fake ghost disguise from the chef and secretly plop it into the pot of simmering gumbo as fast as they can. Like, we were just sampling a specialty of chef. What did you say your name was? Shaggy says as he turns around. Whom are you talking to? Velma asks. There's no one in the kitchen except you and Scooby. Ruh-roh, Scooby gulps. It was real. Like, and it was the most delicious adventure ever, Shaggy says as he slurps down the whole pot of soup. Scooby-Dooby stew. Scooby howls. The end. Right, okay. That was not the twist I was expecting there. So apparently, the ghost was real the entire time. Does that not kind of go against the ethos of classic Scooby? That was weird. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that. The question is, would you like to do another one? We have 4 other ones. We at least have time for one more, if you guys fancy it, and if my voice can hold up. Is that something you guys would like? What's going on? We are doing Scooby-Doo live streams. Apparently it wasn't Old Man Smithy. Apparently it was a real ghost. Bizarre. Let's split up, gang. So apparently Scooby and Shaggy met a real ghost. You want another one? Right, okay. So we've just had... What have we just had? We've just had the Spooky Street. So now we've got the Mystery of Mayhem Mansion, the Case of the Fright Flight, or the Case of the Clown Carnival. Which one would we like? Just dealing with some bullshit. There we go. So happy World Book Day, guys. We're doing some Scooby-Doo live streams. Sorry, I meant not to swear on this one, but there we go. Thank you so much. We're almost at 5,000 likes. That's absolutely incredible. Thank you, guys. Hi, guys. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Now, before we do move on, if we are wanting to move on to a different one, we've just finished one story, And I would like to just give a quick shout out to Chaos Cards. You'll see a product on the shop part of this. We are doing a Scooby-Doo live stream on Sunday at 1 p.m. where we are going to be playing this board game. However, anyone who buys Chaos Cards Scooby-Doo board game will also be entered into... Bear with me. Will also be entered into a giveaway for a copy of this Scooby-Doo board game, Escape from Haunted Mansion. So, oh yes, what gave it away? I'm massively into Scooby-Doo. This is my Scooby-Doo collection. So yes, if you are interested in Scooby-Doo or supporting this account, please check out our live stream at 1 p.m. Please support Chaos Cards, because if you support them, they support us. So you're supporting us. And you'll be entered into a giveaway. So, if you purchase a copy of this game from Chaos Cards, you'll be entered into a giveaway for this one. And we will sign a copy of this one. Why you got Scooby? He's Shaggy's dog. I stole him for this live stream. Another way to, if you do, like, I totally understand if you're not able to support us that way, the best way to support us is on Ko-fi, Ko-fi/Scottish Scooby Gang, or even just engaging with the live streams. Follow the account, follow the Scottish Scooby Gang account, follow the Toxic_Spells account, which is William's account. If we get that up to 1,000, it gives us an opportunity for him to be able to live stream as well. We have, yes, Ko-fi. Thank you, Ava. And, can I say happy birthday to Declan? Absolutely. Happy birthday, Declan. When is Shaggy going to be on the live? Hopefully on Sunday. I'm hopefully going to get, as many of the gang members, to join on Sunday for the 1 p.m. live stream. This one is just a little bit of a bonus. So, please check out Chaos Cards. If you check out any of their products, doesn't have to be this one. If you check out any of their products, you'll be they've got a lot of really amazing games that we want to check out. But if you buy a copy of this one, Scooby-Doo the board game, then you'll be getting a copy of this sent to you, signed by us. So you'll get 2 board games for the price of 1, essentially, or you'll be entered into a giveaway at least. Is Velma coming on Sunday? I don't actually know. I need to actually figure out who's all making it. There's a solid chance it might just be the usual suspect, William, Nick, and myself, maybe Cammy, joining. But if we can get the rest of the gang, I'd love to have the rest of the gang. I don't want to make any promises on their behalf, but I would love to. I'd love to get at least... I don't think Daphne can make it. But I'm going to get her to film some content to promote it at least. Thank you for the rose. Right. Are we wanting to... should I do Jesse from Team Rocket? Yes, I will. That would be incredible. I will message you about that. That would be absolutely brilliant. If you want to do that. Now... do we want another story to celebrate World Book Day? Or do... well, I did have Scooby Snacks. But unfortunately, somebody ate them all. Yes, I want Clown Carnival. Okay. Clown Carnival. Interesting. Right. Give this a shot. From memory, this has a lot of different characters in it. So, this could be... Yes, can I read a book, please? Yes, absolutely. So, these are choose your own adventure stories. So, throughout this story, I'll be asking you to follow or make decisions to follow different characters or get them to make different decisions. Yeah, this one might be pretty hard on my voice. How is William? As far as I'm aware, he's doing as okay as he can. College is a real struggle. You know, we're people with, you know, doing college degrees, and we're, we're doing college degrees, we're working full time, so this is very much a hobby at the moment. However, we've been given a very, very exciting opportunity, despite it being a hobby, from Chaos Cards. So if you guys can support Chaos Cards, yeah, just like the D&D books, I would love to do more like live stream stories, live stream games. I had a choice tonight. I was either going to do the Scooby-Doo live stream with these stories, or I was going to read The Hobbit in a Hobbit costume. But I decided this is more on brand for the account, and I thought would be more appropriate for, you know, if any younger kids did want to join. I just have to hopefully not swear too much. How is Nick? Nick is good. Nick is Nick is again very, very busy at the moment. We went karaokeing on Saturday night. Yeah, we went karaokeing on Saturday night, but unfortunately William didn't have his ID, so he wasn't able to join. But that was very good fun. Stayed up very late that night. It is weird dancing dancing and doing karaoke completely sober. But that's what I signed up for, so it's worse for them because they had to hear me sing. Right, let's do the Case of the Clown Carnival. I have COVID. I have to say. Oh, well, I hope you enjoy this story time. I hope this cheers you up. Well, thank you for sharing thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for all the likes. Please join us on Sunday, 1 p.m. and support Chaos Cards. Right, so we're going to start in a familiar setting. Scooby-Doo sticks his head out the window of the Mystery Machine as it drives down the road. He sniffs the air. The smell that comes to his nose makes his eyes pop wide and his mouth drool. I smell hot dogs. Scooby's best pal Shaggy pokes his head out the other window. He inhales the aromas of the cooking hot dogs and drools almost as much as Scooby. The driver in the car behind them has to use the windshield wipers to swish away their excessive drool. Like we're almost there, Scoops, Shaggy exclaims. Circus food, here we come! Don't you mean family reunion, here we come? Says Daphne Blake, another member of Mystery Inc. We're here to see our relatives after all. What did I tell you about there being loads of voices coming up? I'm going to have to come up with voices on the fly, guys, so apologies if voices change. I can't wait to see my parents and my sister Madeline, Velma says. My folks are coming too, Dad, Daphne asks. Dad might buy the circus to add to the zoo on our estate. Are your sisters coming? Fred asks hopefully. Velma nudges Daphne. He means, is your sister Dawn, the fashion model, coming? She says. I think he has a crush on her. Like, why would he have a crush on Dawn and not Daphne? All of the sisters look identical, Shaggy blurts. Fred hits a bump in the road to distract them, and Shaggy and Scooby are tossed to the back of the van. There, they find a box of Scooby snacks. In seconds, they forget all about what Shaggy said. A few minutes later, the Mystery Machine pulls into the parking lot. The big top is just up ahead, and the gang sees their family is waving a big hello. Scoobert, how's my little pup? Mama Do asks Scooby as he bounces out the van. Raw, Mom! Norville, there's my boy, Shaggy's mother says. Aw, Mum. Shaggy sighs and rolls his eyes, embarrassed when his mum uses his real name. Yeah, so if you didn't know, Shaggy's real name is Norville. Hiya, nephew. Solved any good mysteries lately? Shaggy's uncle asked, shaking his hand. Zap! A joy buzzer zings Shaggy's palm. Zoinks! Oh, hi, Uncle Gaggy. Shaggy replies. That trick never gets old, Gaggy says, laughing. A large dog wearing a clown hat and a fluffy collar holds his paw out for Scooby to shake it. Right, Ruby. Right, Cousin Whoopsie, Scooby replies. He looks suspiciously at his cousin's paw. Suddenly, a jet of water squirts from a fake flower on Whoopsie's collar and splashes Scooby in the face. Daphne's dad laughs. Those two are such practical jokers, he says. I'm glad they're here to help me decide if I want to buy this circus. Don't panic about, if you're not able to donate, like obviously if you're not able to, there's no pressure to, please just follow the account, engage with the live streams like you are, honestly that means more than you'll ever know. And if you can follow toxic_spells, that's William's account, my frequent collaborator on this account. That means we can get his account up to 1,000. That's the goal. That's the goal. So thank you very much, guys. Just then, a man in a ringmaster's suit and top hat appears. Welcome to the Badum-Dum Circus and Carnival. I'm Boo Badum-Dum, the owner. He greets them. My voice is going to be shredded by the end of this. Why did I pick these voices? Clowns dressed in colourful costumes dance and leap around the circus owner to entertain the special guests. Come with me to the big top. I've arranged an exclusive performance just for you, Bo says. As everyone enters the giant tent, Velma nudges her sister Madeline. Did those clowns look odd to you? She asks. No, Madeline shrugs. It was just like when I was in clown school. Why? The Mystery Inc. gang and their families take their seats in a special section and wait for the show to begin. Scooby and Shaggy load up on cotton candy, popcorn, and peanuts. The food disappears. Like, now what, Scoob? Shaggy moans, as he's sad to see that all the snacks are gone. Scooby pulls out a big box of Scooby snacks. Can you see those? Scooby snacks. The ringmaster steps to the center of the big top. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the world-famous Bwaha Clowns. A dozen costume characters run into the center ring. They ride miniature unicycles and throw buckets of confetti at each other. The crowd laughs at the harmless fun. But suddenly, it's not so harmless. Oh, hi. Hi, Zach. Nice to see you again. One of the clown's arms turn into a metallic rope. It grabs Daphne's father and pulls him from his seat. The head of another clown flies off like a rocket and hits the center pole. Crack! The pole splits and the tent canvas starts to collapse. Scooby and Shaggy gobble down Scooby snacks for comfort, but then, snatch! A metallic clown hand swipes the Scooby snacks. I knew something was wrong with those clowns, Velma declares. They're robots. They've kidnapped my dad, Daphne yells. I'm going after him. They're bringing down the big top, Fred shouts. Velma, help me to stop it. Like they stole our Scooby snacks. Scooby-Doo, what are we going to do? Shaggy moans. Right, so now we have an important question. Are we going to follow Scooby and Shaggy as they reclaim their snacks? Are we going to follow Fred and Velma as they try and get the tent back together? Or are we going to follow Daphne as she tries to rescue her father? I know. Now, what's more of a priority, though, guys? What's more of a priority? The Scooby snacks or Daphne's father? Give my son Joseph a shout out. Hello, Joseph. Hello? Wow, you guys are cold-hearted. You don't seem to care at all for, do you just like me doing those voices because you know they hurt my voice? You don't care about Daphne's dad at all? Or the innocent bystanders? Alright, fine. It's unanimous. You guys are cold-hearted, but we'll go for the Scooby Snacks. Turn to page 12. Can't believe you guys voted for the Scooby Snacks, not Daphne's dad, but alright. The mechanical clown pedals away on a miniature unicycle. Its legs spin like pinwheels in the wind, but the bike still doesn't go very fast. The clown juggles the Scooby Snacks above its head. Ha, 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 ha. It laughs in an artificial voice. Hey, Scooby Snacks are not toys! Shaggy yells as he watches his treat spin in the air. The clown circles and careens towards the exit. The robot head twists around to look at Shaggy and Scooby. Then it sticks its stainless steel tongue out at the two pals. Like, that's our last box. Shaggy realizes, we gotta get it back. Scooby, Dooby, Doo, Scooby declares, trying to sound brave. He takes off after the clown. Oh man, the things I do for Scooby Snacks, Shaggy says as he takes off after Scooby. You guys are just mean, because this is harder on my voice. Unfortunately, Shaggy doesn't get very far. He trips on a pair of giant clown shoes and goes flying through the air. He lands on a mini trampoline and bounces even higher. Scooby watches as Shaggy shoots up into the air and bursts through the canvas of the big top. Ah, 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 ah. The robot laughs again as he pedals past Scooby and escapes out the big flap. Scooby gallops out of the big top and finds Shaggy's dad and Uncle Gaggy. Like, Scooby-Doo, we gotta catch that criminal clown, Shaggy's dad says. It's not a criminal, it's a new clown act, Gaggy protests. Braggy, Scooby whimpers. Look, there's a trail of footprints. Maybe Shaggy is following the robot that direction, Mr. Rogers says. But look over there. There's a trail of snack crumbs. Maybe Shaggy is eating the Scooby Snacks while he's chasing the robot in the other direction, Gaggy replies. Which way do I go? Scooby wonders. So, do you think Scooby should follow the footprints, or do you think he should follow the snack crumbs? Because it is World Book Day. So that is why I am reading Scooby-Doo, and also just because I love Scooby-Doo. Snack crumbs, we got a vote for snack crumbs. Put in your votes. Crumbs, okay, let's go with crumbs. 25, page 25. Scooby decides to follow the trail of crumbs. Shaggy's Uncle Gaggy jogs alongside Scooby. Whoopsie-doo, where are you? Gaggy calls out for his canine companion. Scooby's cousin, Whoopsie, leads out from behind a small tent as if to scare them. But his goofy grin and hat are too funny to be frightening. Gaggy laughs at Whoopsie's antics. Scooby concentrates on fighting Shaggy and pays no attention. Scooby-Doo, when did you lose your sense of humor? Rust. Raggy is Rust, and I have to find him, Scooby replies. Now that's a real friend. Whoopsie sobs dramatically and hugs Gaggy. Both of them pull out giant handkerchiefs and pretend to blow their noses. Confetti shoots out their handkerchiefs. Scooby follows the trail of snack crumbs. It leads him through the crowds of happy families enjoying a day at the circus and carnival. But all the different scents start to interfere with Scooby's nose. Suddenly, the trail ends. There are no more crumbs to follow. Scooby sniffs the air, but all he can smell is cotton candy and corn dogs. This would be a good thing, except that now Scooby can't track Shaggy. Scooby stops in his tracks. "Ruh-roh," he says. Scooby starts to imagine being without Shaggy forever, and he starts to sob. "I'll never see my best friend again." Scooby's nose gets all blocked up. Now it's really impossible to sniff out Shaggy. Gaggy and Whoopsie offer Scooby their handkerchiefs. More confetti shoots out, and Scooby wails louder. Scooby's distress attracts a crowd. They want to help. When they find out that the dog has lost his human, they all volunteer to join in the search. "This way," a man says. "No, this way," a woman insists. Scooby can't go in both directions. He has to choose one. So is Scooby going to follow the man or the woman? I know, there's no more crumbs. There's no more crumbs. So is he going to follow the man or the woman? God, my voice is killing me now. Oh, couple of votes. We got 3 votes for man, 1 vote for woman. Let's go with the majority. Let's go with the man. 68. Scooby decides to go where the helpful man is pointing. "Come on, let's find Raggy," he says. He jumps up with new determination and gives the man a high five. His paw smacks something sticky. When he pulls away, something that looks like dark maple syrup covers his foot. Scooby tries to sniff it, but his nose is too congested. He takes a lick. Ugh, but it tastes terrible. Ruck! Scooby gags. "Lead the way. What's your name?" "Charlie. Charlie Equus," the man replies. "Pleased to meet you, Charlie. My name is Gaggy. Gaggy Rogers. This is Scooby-Doo and Whoopsie-Doo." Gaggy introduces his friends. "Hello," Charlie says, waving weakly at the canine cousins. "Now that we know who's who, let's find my nephew," Gaggy says. "I think I saw them heading for the big top." They dash off through the crowded midway. They get halfway down the main avenue when Charlie suddenly screeches to a halt. "Wait, there he goes!" Charlie shouts and points off to the left. "Where?" Gaggy asks. He turns around in a circle trying to spot Shaggy. "There," Charlie insists. He starts to turn in another direction. The searchers follow Charlie. They race past the crowded carnival rides. They see laughing kids and their happy families. But there's no sign of Shaggy. "Are you sure you saw my nephew?" Gaggy asks Charlie. "Are you calling me a liar?" Charlie snaps at Gaggy. "Forget it. I'm not helping you anymore." Charlie stomps off in a huff. No one sees him smile as he leaves. The fools. Turn to page 75. "Something doesn't add up," Gaggy says. "Charlie said he saw Shaggy heading for the big top, and then saw him at the rides. But how could he recognize Shaggy when I never told him what my nephew looked like?" "Ruh-roh," Scooby says. "He used a classic magic trick, misdirection," Gaggy realizes. "He led us all around the circus to keep us from finding Shaggy." "But why?" Whoopsie-Doo wonders. "That's a mystery we're gonna solve," Scooby declares. He turns to his cousin. "Whoopsie, I need your nose." Whoopsie takes off his red clown nose and hands it to Scooby. "Rot rat nose! Your real nose," Scooby says with a sigh. He holds out his paw with the sticky syrup on it. "Smell this." "What is that?" "I don't know. It was on Charlie's rand," Scooby replies. "And you think Whoopsie can follow that scent? Scooby, that's really smart." Gaggy says. I won't fail you. Whoopsie-Doo takes a deep breath of the unknown goo. He thinks for a minute. It's motor oil. Motor oil? Like what a robot uses? Gaggy realizes. I'll bet Charlie Equus is connected to that robot clown. They've got Raggy, Scooby concludes. Let's red him. Whoopsie puts his nose to the ground and follows the scent of motor oil. Gaggy and Scooby trail after him. Whoopsie leads them to a large barn filled with broken carnival rides. It's like Scooby-Doo! Am I glad to see you? Scooby looks up and sees his pal tied to a Ferris wheel chair hanging from the rafters. Suddenly, the robot clown staggers forward. Clank! Clank! Its joints sound terrible. Its hands grasp at the friends. Yeah! Scooby and Whoopsie yell in fright. There's no way to say hello to a fellow clown, Gaggy says. Here, let's shake on it. Gaggy grabs the robot's hand. Zap! His joke buzzer sends a shock through the robot's circuits. It shudders and falls down. Charlie Equus emerges from the shadows. You wrecked my robot, he says, kneeling over the fallen machine. It was going to be part of my act. I was going to be famous. I think we need to work out a few kinks, Gaggy observes. A short time later, Charlie is put into a police car. The police untie Shaggy and help him down from the rafters. Scoob, you solved the mystery, Shaggy says proudly. Rah, I had help, Scooby replies and hugs Whoopsie and Gaggy. That's what family's for, Gaggy says with a laugh. Wanna shake on it? The end. Yeah, these don't really do a good job of, explaining what the motives of the villains are. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that story, guys. What about the Scooby Snacks? Yeah, I don't know. Felt like a little bit of a red herring. Do you know there's a character in a pup named Scooby-Doo literally called Red Herring for that reason? But anyway, thank you very much. Oh, for God's sake. Some people think they're funny, but it's not funny when they just keep repeating the same joke. Gaggy would not be proud. It's not being woke that makes Velma bad. Guys, that's a false equivalence, okay? That's just a bad faith argument, okay? The reason Velma is bad is it makes the characters unlikable and goes too far away from what people love about the franchise. It's also very anti-animation. It's a shame to be animated, and that's a massive problem for an animated show. Especially, it's very much anti-adult animation, which is a bizarre choice when your show is an adult animation. Its tone and its messaging is all over the place. It cannot, you're saying it's woke, but none of those messages about toxic masculinity or any of that comes, is actually done particularly well. They try and touch on, the toxic masculinity that surrounds Fred, but they don't do a good job of it, and they commit a cardinal sin, which is making Fred unlikable. You never make Fred unlikable, ever. He's always charmingly stupid. But saying that it's bad because it's woke, saying it's bad because it's woke is just a false equivalence. It's left-wing. Yeah, left-wing is good. If you're not left-wing, fuck off. Well, I said I wasn't going to swear. Whoopsie. So, well, I hope you enjoyed those stories, guys. Wow, 10,000 likes. Oh, wow, Jesus. Right, I could go on a massive rant about why I don't like Scrappy-Doo. In fact, I did years ago. I made a video on why Scrappy-Doo is hated. I want to remake that video. I want to look up more sources and try to figure out exactly why Scrappy was introduced and why he sort of took over the show. But the reality is, Scrappy-Doo saved the franchise and then ruined it. Is the short answer. So we have Scrappy-Doo to thank for Scooby-Doo being in the state it's in, but it was also in a really rough state back in the 80s, 70s and 80s. But no, like the Velma show is not bad because it's woke. Nothing is bad because it's woke. The Eternals movie is not bad because it's woke. The Eternals movie is bad because it is based on racist concepts. It is badly written, badly acted, has terrible cinematography, and goes to the last Airbender school of exposition. That's why the Eternals is bad. The fact it's got a diverse cast is its only saving grace. This is a very left-wing account, guys, so if you can't get on board with the fact that I'm a lefty liberal, you're not welcome. Sorry. You just aren't. Yeah. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the... Wow. Thoughts on the Velma show. Have you just joined? Because I just went on a massive rant about it. I don't feel like repeating myself. Basically, it's committed a few cardinal sins. It's anti-adult animation. It makes fun of adults for enjoying comfort media, despite being based on a famously formulaic comfort media show. It's also anti-adult animation. It makes fun of adults for watching adult animation, despite the fact that BoJack Horseman is one of the best shows ever made. It also cannot commit to a message or a point to save its life, nor can it commit to a consistent tone. It's painfully unfunny, and also it makes Fred really unlikable. The best version of Fred that we've had is in Mystery Incorporated, because they make Fred incredibly sympathetic. Where things are too... Again, no. Like, you're just in a very non-diverse circle, which is fine. Like, I find myself being surrounded by predominantly white people. But everyone deserves to have media that represents them, be they people of colour, or trans people, or people in the LGBT community. That deserves to be spoken about and presented in media. So diversity in all forms, diversity is the way to go. I have no problem diversifying the Scooby-Doo gang. They have been white teenagers for far too long. And that's no longer the world, it was never the world outside our window, especially not in 1969, but not now. So yeah, absolutely, like the diversifying the cast, I'm all for. But again, there are certain traits to the characters that are integral, and you take those away. And just naturally, the no matter what happens with Scooby-Doo, the characters are always likable, and the characters in Velma just aren't. They're not the same character. They're not the same characters. It's not what they look like. It's how they act. It's how they talk. It's their personalities. Those just straight up aren't the same characters. Who's my favourite from the Big Five? Should be fairly obvious. Right, I'm going to block anyone who's saying diversity is bad. You're not welcome. What's new Scooby-Doo? What's new Scooby-Doo? Amazing theme song. Amazing theme song by Simple Plan. It does some things really well, like it does this thing where they don't give you the answer until the next week with some of the episodes. I really like that. I think it gets children thinking. I think it does a really good job of, for the most part, really good job of actually setting up a mystery and giving you a culprit. But Not my favourite. I think A Pup Named Scooby-Doo did a much better job of being a detective show for kids. If you say diversity is bad, you're a racist son of a bitch. I've given it's past the point where kids will be watching this, so fuck it. Would you rather the first live action movie or the second? Second one. The first one is fine, but it cannot make up its mind whether it's an adult parody of Scooby-Doo or a Scooby-Doo adaptation. Earnestly. It's got this because it had to change direction halfway through production. It was so that's why it's got the outfit's a lot more scantily clad, and the humor is a lot more adult and things like that. When they got to Scooby-Doo 2, that is far more just a live action adaptation and homage to the cartoon, which is far more nostalgic and also it's better. It's got a better mystery. It does away with the idea of magic and is more the monsters are real due to science. So it's far more grounded in the reality, not our reality, but far more grounded in Scooby-Doo's reality. Yes, magic. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is a really good example of magic and the supernatural being done well. But again, that subverts the Scooby-Doo formula in a way that Scooby-Doo the movie doesn't necessarily. And Scooby-Doo 2 is just it's funnier. I think it's the fact that it is set in Coolsville and deals with familiar monsters and deals with familiar characters like Old Man Winkle and things like that. It was a real love letter to the cartoon. So Scooby-Doo 2 all the way. Gotta be Scooby-Doo 2. Second favorite. BoJack Horseman is incredible. BoJack Horseman is one of the best shows ever made. Would I say it's my favorite thing ever? It's one of the best things objectively. It just is one of the best things ever made. Would I say it's my favorite? Depends on what it would have been. I can't watch some of BoJack Horseman on the regular. It's definitely not a comfort show, given the fact that it deals with addiction and addiction, self-harm, a lot of different themes. It deals, very heavily with trauma and depression and anxiety and all these things. You watch that during a depressive episode, you can put yourself further in a depressive episode if you're not careful. Right, I'm just going to block you. Right. Scooby's here. Sorry, Scooby is here. Do I like South Park? Yeah, I did when I was a teenager. We are going to do a South Park quiz at some point. That is on the list. I'm not crazy about it these days. Sometimes I think it verges on mean-spirited in its humor, and I think it verges on punching down quite a bit more. I like some of it, and I like those creators' other works. Obviously, Book of Mormon is, to me, what I wish more of South Park was. Captain Cutler is my Captain Cutler, which is this one, the diving helmet. The diving guy. He's my favorite classic Scooby-Doo monster. Professor Pericles is my favorite modern Scooby-Doo villain, but classic, it's gotta be Captain Cutler. Last Airbender is incredible. As in the cartoon, obviously, not the movie. Yeah, absolutely. That show is incredible. I only watched it recently. I only watched Last Airbender in the last couple of years. I never grew up with Nickelodeon, One of the reasons I love Scooby-Doo so much is it was one of the few cartoons I grew up with. It was one of the few cartoons that I had on VHS. And that should age me. That should show how old I am. Yes, I had VHSs. It's phenomenal. But no, as an actual thing that tells a narrative, deals with not only Eastern philosophy and morality, but is actually just a fun adventure show at the same time, and doesn't get preachy. It does a lot of, and yeah, its world building is just incredible. Like, if you actually watch breakdowns of its world building, it's phenomenally close to how those nations would exist in the real world. And obviously they're based on, Fire Nation is Japan, based on Japan, and Earth Kingdom is based on China and things like that. So it's like, yeah, that makes sense. But the world build, if you actually look at the history of Japan and look at the history of the Fire Nation, there's a lot of parallels with their industrial revolution and things like that. So that one's really, really, really cool. Yes, it is gonna get bigger. The Last Airbender. Where is Scooby-Doo from? Coolsville. Well, Coolsville in most continuities. Crystal Cove in Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. Depends on which canon, but typically Coolsville. I think it was a pup named Scooby-Doo, which I love, by the way. If you want the purest form of just child-friendly Scooby-Doo, but good, like genuinely makes you solve the clues. Like, watch it with really young children. It's not even that scary, so you can watch it with really young children. They really get into it. More so than Scooby-Doo Where Are You, I think, these days. Yeah, Ed, Edd and Eddy. I hate the animation style. I could never get past the animation on Ed, Edd and Eddy. What's the dog's name? Scooby-Doo. If you had to cast a new Fred for live action, me. I am my pick for live action Fred. No, oh god. It depends. Like, what are we talking? Like, are we talking like straight up just adaptation of the cartoon, like, the movies? Are we talking, straight up comedy? Are we talking like dramatic? Like, also, are we looking for an actor who is, probably in their 20s but can play young? God, that is a really good question. I'm trying to think of young actors, like actors around my age or younger, that can play young but have that jockey. Because Fred is like, he's essentially a fridge of a man with just as many brain cells. And I'm trying to figure out who could play that well. Like, if we're playing older, I'd love to see like an older, like, I'd love to see Chris Evans' take, because we know he can do comedy. I would love to see his take on like an older Fred who's just as thick, but it's, has those Captain America qualities of, leadership. Can you play Fred? I would love to play Fred. Yeah, I work with children, dickhead. Yes, I watch it with young children. I work with children. I've been working in nurseries for 3 years. Yeah, if you haven't seen If Scooby-Doo was Scottish, by the way, go check that out. That video did really, really well. We definitely want to do more. Where did I get the Scooby? I've had this Scooby-Doo plushie probably for about 20 years now. Yeah, this Scooby-Doo plushie has been with me since my childhood. I was a nursery practitioner for 3 years, or thereabouts. I got qualified a year ago now? 2 years ago? Year and less than 2. Yeah. Anyway, about a year ago I got qualified. I was doing college to get qualified. Yeah, no, he's in incredible condition. But the reality was, the nursery system is not for me, and I hate working. Kids I don't mind working with, it's adults I fucking hate working with. Management, specifically. Nursery management. I've had good, the last nursery I was at, they were incredible. The management were very, very kind. But it's just not for me. It's just not for me. I'm an entertainer at heart. That's why I love dressing up. That's why I love, doing these live streams, doing the quiz live streams that we do every Sunday. It's why I love running theme parties and events. I'm an entertainer, and the most loving and receptive audience to what I do is children. I can do entertainment for adults, I have done, but usually they have this barrier in their head about engaging with the magic of things. Like, nothing is more magical than being Santa. No matter how you feel about Christmas or the live Santa, as soon as you put that suit on, you can't help but feel magical. You just can't. It's a real joy to see children's eyes light up and to see children motivated to engage, linguistically. You give kids clues and puzzles to solve. You play games with them. You let them create art. They'll do it. And they'll come up with incredible ideas. Like, so one of the ideas that we had at one of the nurseries, and I'm so furious that the nursery ended up shutting it down halfway through, was the kids wanted to make their own films, and we made sure everything was above board and the footage wasn't going anywhere beyond, their parents or outside the nursery or anything like that. But the kids wanted to make their own films, and they did, and they made all the props, they made all the costumes, they came up with the storylines, or adapted storylines like Wizard of Oz and things like that, but they did it. They did all the hard work. I just had to stand there, and the one thing I said to them was, let's not worry about learning lines, because they're, under 5, so they're still developing their reading and writing. So I said, I'll feed you the line off camera, and they performed it, and I really mean performed. We had one kid decide they wanted to play Scooby-Doo, but they wanted to use a puppet. And God, it was like watching Frank Oz or Jim Henson. It really was. Because he was hidden under the Scooby props, puppeteering them from beneath so he couldn't be seen. I didn't tell him to do that. He made that choice himself. He understood what, I didn't say, because I just assumed, he's going to be in shot. Like, it was just, again, it was fun. But no, he took the time to conceal himself and puppeteer, and then also do the voice, like Muppeteers would. It was incredible. Like, genuinely, the artistic quality you get out of children, because they are just so engaged and so motivated to learn and try things out, but they learn by doing. You gotta let them learn by doing. I'm being Shaggy for Book Week. Oh, amazing! That's so cool. Yeah, I decided to hop on. We just did some Scooby-Doo stories. Did a couple. My voice is a bit sore now, so I probably can't do another one, but I'm just chatting now. But yeah, I did a couple of Scooby-Doo stories because it was World Book Day. I had a choice between doing these or getting into my Hobbit costume and doing a reading of The Hobbit, but that was probably going to be a very long live stream, and I don't know, this just feels more me and more on brand. If you want to see a Hobbit live stream, let me know and I can absolutely do that. But that being said, for those of you who have just joined, this stream and other streams on Sunday, we've been very lucky to be supported and sponsored by Chaos Cards, who have sent me a free board game, a free copy of their board game. We're going to be playing this on live stream on Sunday, 1 p.m. Please join us. And then if you buy this game through the link that's in this chat, it'll be linked on that live stream as well. It'll be linked in the videos promoting it. If you buy this game through Chaos Cards, you'll be entered into a giveaway to potentially win this one as well. Because they sent us 2. Chaos Cards sent us 2 board games. I only asked for 1, and they sent us 2. I didn't even think they were going to send us 1. They sent us 2. So they sent us 2 different board games. So, and but I already had a copy of this one. I haven't played it yet, but I already had a copy. So we're going to run a giveaway. I'm going to sign this copy that I'm holding here, and that will be part of the giveaway. So please check out the Scooby-Doo board game through the link, through the shop link. It would mean the absolute world if you could do so, because remember, if you support Chaos Cards, you support us. If you support Chaos Cards, they support us. So, but other ways to support us, if you can't spend that much money on a board game, totally understand. Check out Chaos Cards' other products. I've got a lot of other products, a lot of nerdy products. No, I totally understand. Check out Chaos Cards' other products though. They have things like Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They have different board games. They have miniatures. They have all these really cool stuff. So if you're into sort of board game nights, check out their stuff. They've got Star Wars stuff. They've got Marvel games. They've got Disney games. Check out their stuff. Because there's a lot of really cool stuff on there, and I would love to promote some of their other stuff. Like they said, they had Star Wars stuff, and we have Star Wars cosplay, so that would be really cool to sit down and play at some point. But yeah, if you can buy this game through that link, you'll be entered into the giveaway. If you can't do that, or aren't willing to do that, that's totally fine, totally understand. Everyone's in a bit of a crunch at the moment. But if you are able to donate on the Ko-fi, ko-fi/Scottish Scooby Gang, that's another way to support us. Thank you. Yeah, check out the board game in the link. We're going to be playing it on live stream on Sunday. So I'm really, really excited. And if you buy it, you're entered into a giveaway to get this one as well. There's 2 board games that Chaos Cards have sent us. So thank you to Chaos Cards. But yes, if you want to support us directly, follow us and support us on Ko-fi, ko-fi/Scottish Scooby Gang. Or if you want to follow us, none of our live streams will ever have a paywall behind them. You'll never be asked to pay just to watch our content or anything. So, yeah, big fluffy wig green shirt. Yeah, it's easiest costume in the world. Easiest costumes in the world to do are the Scooby-Doo Gang. And they're iconic. Everyone knows them. The show's been going on for 53 years. Everyone knows it, So, it's transcended generations. So, it's genuinely brilliant. But yes, support us on Ko-fi. Also, another call to action. I know this is a lot of calls to action, but we do a live stream every single Sunday. Not that board game live stream, a quiz live stream, 7 p.m. every single Sunday. So you're getting 2 live streams on Sunday. Yeah, I know, it's great. It's genuinely a phenomenal cosplay. It's great fun. Like, charity shops are the best way to do a Scooby-Doo cosplay. Well, I actually want to do videos talking about how that and some other cartoon characters are a great place to start. If you've never cosplayed before, or if you've not dressed up since you were a kid and you want to get into cosplay, that is the best place to start, is iconic cartoon characters, because they're inexpensive cosplays and they're iconic, and you should see the joy in people's faces, especially kids' faces, when they see your costume. Don't plump for the £200 superhero costume. Plump for the 30 quid charity shop gig. The A-Team, it's not a kids show, but the A-Team is another really good one where they're iconic, but they have different sort of outfits, but there's also like iconic bits to it, like Murdoch's jacket and Mr. T's gold. So that's a really iconic one that older audiences would get. So depending on what you're going for, yeah, oh yeah, no, kids love that stuff. Like, I've been Iggle Piggle for a party. That was funny. Thank you. I'm really glad, Chrissy. I'm really glad you love our streams. Thank you. We do genuinely try and put in a lot of effort, obviously. We've set ourselves up for a big ambition of coming up with not only the new theme every week, but obviously having the costumes for that. So William is in the process of expanding his cosplay collection to, again, essentially catch up with mine. So obviously we look at what we have and we try and do it and things like that. So we work hard to bring those live streams every week. It is a big undertaking to do the costumes and things like that. So any support you can give us, even if you can give us a tenner or 20 on coffee as a one-off, that alone goes towards a cosplay. You know what I mean? William, for those of you who don't know, William is my frequent collaborator on this account. So Nick is our moderator, and William is my frequent co-host when we do our live stream quizzes. So every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time, we do a live stream quiz, different theme every week, and William is there co-hosting with me. So he was Bruno for the Disney one, he was Thor for the Marvel one. He's pretty much always there beside me. There's very few that he's not been there for. Fred has the best chaps. He does indeed. Do you make money off the TikTok live streams? No. No, we don't. At all. The way you just... The money... Like, to put it in perspective, guys, just to be a bit honest, we got one viral hit, which hit 7 million views, which is incredible, don't get me wrong. Our follower count went from 800 to 37,000 within a couple of months, which is a mental. But the reality of it is, over the last 3 months, that video has brought in £50, which sounds great, but over 3 months, and when you're trying to pay a mortgage, it's nothing. Really, it's nothing. Especially if it's spread over that much. So the way to support us, I would love. Genuinely, there is a subscription feature on these live streams. It's just no one uses them, and I get it. I get why. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not resenting anyone, but yeah, if you want to subscribe to the live, it's not like here's the thing, like, it's not like we're going to say, okay, our live streams are only for subscribers, because that seems really shitty. That locks out so many people. Use the TikTok live product showcase. I did. I'm getting a video violation. Instead of directing buyers to third-party platforms. Screw you. How do you subscribe? There is a subscription feature. That's actually a really good question. I should probably know that. On my screen, there's a little star that has, a wee star with, however many subscribers. There should be a way. I'm sure there must be a way to subscribe to these live streams. But I've set up the next month worth of quizzes as live events. So if you register for those, they're free to register. If you register for those, that reminds you we're going live. But genuinely, the best way is coffee at the moment to help us out. Or, of course, by, following the shop link to Chaos Cards and having a look at the Scooby-Doo board game. But no, the reality is coffee is the best way to support us directly. ko-fi/Scottish Scooby Gang. Oh, that's maybe why TikTok doesn't like me. Because it doesn't like me sharing other platforms. Because they don't see any money out of it. Oh well. Still gonna do it. Because TikTok aren't giving us any money. So that's the reality of the situation. So no, we don't make money off these live streams. We do it for fun. We do it because I love entertaining. And I love presenting the live streams. You guys make it worth it every single time. You guys are lovely on these live streams. Yeah, we get our fair share of trolls. That's going to happen on every live stream. But you guys always speak louder. And you always, give us all the love and support. And you engage with the quizzes. No matter what the theme is. So that genuinely makes all the difference in the world. So yeah, there's a few ways to support us. Check out Chaos Cards. Please do support them because I would love it if they became frequent. If they become frequent supporters of us and send us regular board games. That's the dream. That's the dream, to play board games. To get paid to play board games in costume. That's the dream, guys. That is the dream. But to follow us on Coffee. If you are wanting to keep up to date with what we're up to, different costumes that we're working on. Obviously you'll see sort of a new costume every week on the live stream. But if you want to see what costumes we're working on, a good way to do that is Instagram. And we did an amazing Scooby-Doo photo shoot with the Mystery Machine. So obviously that video, the Scottish Scooby video, you can see the Mystery Machine behind us. We're in a graveyard. That was all possible because of a guy called Greg who owns the Mystery Machine, and he owns an old church with a graveyard. So, and we met him during Comic-Con, and he was like, yeah, come. Oh, thank you for the gift. Thank you. But he was like, yeah, come and take photos in this. And he had this camera equipment and did it completely for free, out of the goodness of his heart. So we have this amazing Scooby-Doo photo shoot that I will always treasure forever. Watching Scooby-Doo is... I do enjoy watching Scooby-Doo. It's just not my favourite. I think it's a good, slightly dated show with an amazing theme tune. But it's not my favourite era of Scooby-Doo. Just isn't. Thank you, Cammy. Thank you for having my back. Yeah, I mean, the original version is iconic. The reality of it is, it depends what version. If I want the iconic Scooby-Doo experience with the classic monsters, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Is the way to go. If I want an actual decent detective show for kids, a pup named Scooby-Doo. Oh no, so that one's really, really funny. It's like watching Looney Tunes. It's brilliant. So if you've never checked out a pup named Scooby-Doo, that's genuinely the way to... That's a great introduction for young audiences. But it's just really fun. If I want something a bit more serious and with an actual plot, then Mystery Incorporated. Because it actually has an ongoing narrative that becomes Lovecraftian in its horror towards the end. It can be quite disturbing. But it doesn't shy away from its humor either. So Mystery Incorporated is incredible. I do love it. Best Scooby-Doo movie? Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. No contest. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Because it is both a love letter to Scooby-Doo and a subversion of the Scooby-Doo formula. It's also the best horror movie ever made. Fight me. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is the best horror movie ever made. It's so good. It's so good. It is genuinely creepy. The shadows in the animation, the atmosphere it builds up. If I remember that Shaggy and Scooby had a big mansion in it. God, that could be anything. That does not narrow it down. They're in this creepy mansion all the time. Oh, are you talking about Boo Brothers? You talking about the one where Shaggy inherits? The red shirt Shaggy era is rough. That's a rough era. Anything with Scrappy doing it, I kind of avoid. Like the plague. I really don't like Scrappy. There are good uses for him, mostly as a villain. Most people would disagree with me there, but Scrappy makes a phenomenal villain. What was the witch movie with Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost? Very close second place when it comes to the animated movies. Tim Curry is the villain. It's got the Hex Girls in it. It's beautifully animated. Yeah, I totally agree. That's a great film. It was one of the newer ones, I think, like early 2000s. Early 2000s with the mansion in it. Maybe that is Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island you're talking about. I don't know which one you're on about there. Again, it's kind of hard. It's been so many. But yeah, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost is incredible. For Tim Curry alone, but no, also that was the one that introduced the Hex Girls. The Hex Girls have a great song. It's like a band battle between them and like an undead ska band in Mystery Incorporated. So if you type in Hex Girls versus Rude Boy, there's an incredible band battle song by the Hex Girls, and they're in like Day of the Dead makeup and everything. It's incredible. So I'm really glad the Hex Girls stuck around. Right, we'll probably go until 9 o'clock, and then I'm going to call it quits. But I'm really glad you guys enjoyed it. So yeah, if live stream story times is something you want to continue, so at Christmas I did a Santa one, and I did that fully in character, and I read the Grinch over live stream, and I also read The Night Before Christmas on a video. So if you want, there's also, we only got through 2 of these stories tonight, so there's 2 more. So if you're interested in hearing the other 2 stories, let me know. We can maybe do that in the run up to this live stream on Sunday. Maybe Saturday night, I don't know, but we'll see. Sometimes I will just, like, obviously we have our weekly live stream. Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time. We do that every single week. We have not missed one yet. We even did Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Well, I did Christmas Day as Santa. That was good fun. Yeah. We have done one every single Sunday. We will continue to do one until we burn out, essentially. We'll let you know if it ever goes on hiatus. But for now, every single Sunday. So this Sunday is Pokemon themed. However, on the same day, we're also doing a Scooby-Doo live stream at 1 p.m. as a special live stream, and it'll be sponsored by Chaos Cards because they sent us Scooby-Doo the board game and Scooby-Doo Escape from Haunted Mansion. They sent us 2 for free. So we are going to be promoting those on the live stream, and if you buy through the link, if you buy Scooby-Doo the board game, which we'll be playing through and showing you how it works, you'll be entered into a giveaway to win this one, signed by us. So this one's almost like an escape room. Let me think. So this one, it looks far more like a kind of role-playing style one, where you're actually playing as the characters. Again, I don't know because I have not played it yet. But it's got little miniatures and everything, which I will paint up at some point, because I'm... Oh, Scooby-Doo Get a Clue. Not crazy about that one, I'll be honest. So we're playing this one, and if we get time on the live stream... How long do these games last? Oh, this one was only 30 minutes. Oh. We might have time for both these we might have time to play both of these on the live stream. But if you buy this one through the link, you'll be entered into a giveaway to win this one from us. Signed by us. Signed by the Scooby Gang. The Scottish Scooby Gang. During the live streams, we're also giving away little trinkets and things like that signed by us as well. So there are opportunities to win little fun prizes signed by us. Please join us for the Pokemon one. If you want to support us, follow us on Instagram at Scottish Scooby Gang. Follow us on Ko-fi, ko-fi/Scottish Scooby Gang. Don't violate me again, TikTok. but that is the best way to financially support us. Which one are we playing on Sunday? Good question, Cammy. If we get round to it, both of them. But we will start with this one, because this is the one that is the product on the TikTok thing. But if we get round to it, they also very kindly sent us this one, which is more like an escape room. Yeah, I'm very excited for that. I'm hoping we can get some of the gang. You know, I don't want to make any promises on behalf, but William, Cammy, Nick, they'll be there. You know, the frequent collaborators. Cammy's just started collabing with us now, which is nice. So, William, Cammy, and I met through college. And we're fast friends because we're all a bunch of nerds. I haven't watched Scooby-Doo in ages, just looked, and they made a couple more new series. Right, if you're wanting Scooby-Doo recommendations for series, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. And I recommend watching the entire thing because it's got an ongoing plot. So it's got like your monster of the week, but all the way through, threaded throughout it, is an ongoing plot. So Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. If you're wanting just to get into simple, fun, silly Scooby-Doo, if you've got kids, or if you work with kids like I do, a pup named Scooby-Doo. Genuinely good, funny detective show for kids. It's got a character called Red Herring in it, for fuck's sake. Very, very funny. If you want the traditional Scooby-Doo experience, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? If you want the early 2000s makeover, what's new Scooby-Doo? But I think if you're looking to get back into Scooby-Doo, if a familiarity with the concept of Scooby-Doo, but you want to see something new done with it as an adult, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. It's the best. It is the peak of the Scooby-Doo shows. To me, it is number one. It is absolutely fantastic. It just depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for Scooby-Doo movies to watch, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is the best Scooby-Doo movie and also the best horror movie ever made. Fight me. For any horror fans, I don't like the horror genre at all. I have zero appreciation for it. But I love Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? It's great, but it's also really... It's not great for actual mystery solving. Like, it's not... Like, if you actually watch a lot of the episodes, they'll just be like, yeah, it's just this person. And they've never introduced that person, you know, in the entire thing. So it's not really great for actual mystery solving, which is kind of what it's meant to be. You know, it's meant to get kids' brains working. You know? So, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You is a good place to start. But if you want an actual, like... If you want to feel like you're following along with the mystery, solving the clues, then A Pup Named Scooby-Doo or Mystery Incorporated are much better. Not to mention, there's some really dated and kind of oofed moments in Where Are You? Because it came out in 1969. So it's there's a scene where Scooby and Shaggy dress in basically Fu Manchu style yellow face. That's not great. There's some pretty racially insensitive depictions of Native American culture. It's not great. So, yeah. But it has its moments. Like, I love Captain Cutler's Ghost. Scooby-Doo, A Clue for Scooby-Doo, or the very first episode, What a Night for a Night. Those are good episodes of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? The very first two episodes are fantastic. Or the one with the spooky space cook is pretty good as well. But yeah, please do check out. If you have the means and you want to support us, at the moment, the best way to do it is check out the shop link. Check out Chaos Cards. Yep. Are you a Futurama and a Simpsons fan? Also, funnily enough, yes to the Simpsons, at least in the golden age. I've watched a few episodes of Futurama, never got crazy into it, but We are doing a Simpsons quiz at the end of this month. So on the 26th of February? No, 26th of March. 26th of March. God, I don't know what month I'm in now. 26th of March, we'll be doing a Simpsons quiz, and I'll be dressing as Ned Flanders for it. I re-watched the Simpsons movie lately for like the first time in about 10 years. That movie's so much fun. Like, that really was the dying breath of when Simpsons was funny. Like, do you remember how funny the Simpsons used to be? Like, have you ever gone back and watched the old episodes of the Simpsons? Oh my god. Because like when the Simpsons episodes that were on TV were kind of like post season 10, a lot of them. So I kind of experienced mid Simpsons. But I had DVDs of like the first season and the third season, and they're incredible. Yes, correct. The original pilot episode, Scooby-Doo, What a Night for a Night, with the Black Knight Ghost. Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. If you ask me what my favourite live action one is, Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. Easy. But the peak of Scooby-Doo media as a whole, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Watch the 90s and 2000s episodes. I haven't really bothered with the newer series, neither do I. It's not the same. It's not, and there's actually a brilliant video. I think it's what was it? Super Eye Patch Wolf does a breakdown of what happened to The Simpsons, and they break down all the reasons that it isn't the same show anymore. Like, it just isn't. It isn't counterculture. It is popular culture, and it has embraced the idea of celebrity in a really like disingenuous way. And what made The Simpsons so sharp is it was counter-American culture. I mean, people forget The Simpsons back in the day drew the ire of the President of the United States. He called it out by name as something anti-American. That's good. That's a good thing. Or at least anti-right-wing American. Yeah, if we're going to get into politics here, everyone should be fully aware this is a lefty liberal account, okay? We're lefties, we're liberals, we're SJWs, and we're fucking proud of it, okay? On this account. Unambiguously, Black Lives Matter, trans lives are human rights, fuck the police, eat the rich. If you disagree with any of those statements, you can fuck off, because you're not fucking welcome. Like, if you're a content maker who makes Hogwarts Legacy content, I'm probably just gonna unfollow you. And I used to be a massive Harry Potter fan, but I'm not gonna engage with you. You made your choice. You stood with someone who was transphobic. Everyone is important. Not racists, not transphobes, not homophobes. They can all fuck off. Yeah, but no, everyone has a right to live authentically as themselves and express themselves. You know, be it their gender or live authentically, you know, and safely. But the status quo demonstrably isn't great for a lot of people. Sorry, Alfie, I wasn't meaning to ignore you earlier. It was just while I was doing the stories, I cannot concentrate. I have to sort of like laser focus on one thing. But congratulations on getting a girlfriend. That's exciting. I literally just joined. Oh, we were doing it. Sorry, we were doing a Scooby-Doo story time for World Book Day, and now it's just evolved into me politically ranting. So, welcome to the Scottish Scooby Gang podcast, because that's fairly typical for me, to be perfectly honest. That's fairly standard behaviour. But 1 p.m. on Sunday, we will be playing Scooby-Doo the board game. We will be running a giveaway for Scooby-Doo Escape from Haunted Mansion. If you buy this one through the link in the shop bit on TikTok Shop, if you buy this one, you get entered into a giveaway for this one, signed by us. Please join us on the live stream. But please also follow us on Coffee if you're able to financially support. Only if you're able to financially support us on Coffee, mind you. Don't break the bank. I mean, if you are able, but dear God, Alfie, check. You have permission. You know, don't go using people's credit cards that aren't yours. But you know, if you want to purchase this one, you'll be entered into the giveaway, and you get this one. So there's no guarantee you'll get this one, but if you purchase this one, that's a good way to get that one as well. You know. And if you support Chaos Cards, they will continue to support us. Have you played any of the Scooby-Doo video games? Yeah, I played the Scooby-Doo 2 one. The one based on the Scooby-Doo 2 movie. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I think there was a bit where you got to dress up Shaggy and Scooby to go into the Faux Ghost pub. That was funny. I enjoyed that. I have played a few of them. I'm not a massive video gamer, so a lot of them came out on consoles that I didn't have. Or had stopped using. I would love to play some of them. I'd love to go back and play some of them. Did you ever play Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase? That one was hard on the Game Boy. Oh man, I've not played the Lego one. Oh man, if there was a Lego set, I would spend a lot of money on it. It's a Mystery Machine one, if I'm honest. No, I have watched some of the Lego Scooby-Doo movies. They're actually really fun. They're really charming. They're extremely charming. But no, I have not played a huge amount of the Scooby-Doo video games simply because I've not played a huge amount of video games, if I'm honest. And typically licensed games are not brilliant a lot of the time. But I'm sure I would get a kick out of some of the old school Scooby-Doo games. When you guys did... If Scooby-Doo was Scottish... Yeah, that one went crazy. Thank you. This is my Scooby-Doo teddy from when I was a kid. Like, I think I've had this for about 20 years. Or something crazy like that. This is... I turned this poor one, into a puppet. This Scooby is a puppet now. So I stick my hand in the back of him. But yeah, if Scooby-Doo was Scottish, that one went crazy viral. I mean, that's why we're able to do live streams. It's because of that one. It's why we've been given a platform now to do these live streams, is because you guys all supported that one and shared it, and I really, really thank you for that. It was kind of scary though, because I uploaded that one. You know, it's fairly derivative. Like the punchline comes from a show called Still Game. And there's already a TikTok where going through the catchphrases, so it's like Rutro, Zoinks, Jinkies, Jeepers, and then Fred swears. He says fuck, right? So it was just a play on that video. But I was like, I don't want to just copy that video. I want to do our own twist on it. I'm like, well, we're Scottish. And then I was watching Still Game. I'm like, wouldn't it be so funny for Fred to say, back off, you spooky bitch? Just the perfect thing to say to a ghost. So it was a blend of really loving that TikTok with the Scooby-Doo catchphrases and watching Still Game, and it just sort of came together. And the fact that we were Scottish, I'm like, fuck it, that's. But what made that video so exciting was we did it. We didn't just do it anywhere. We did it in a graveyard, dressed in full costumes with the mystery machine in the background. Like, that was an absolute dream come true photo shoot. You can see. Nah, it's back off. Back off, you spooky bitch. Watch Still Game for the context of where that actually comes from, because it's really fucking funny. Yeah, I know, the likes are incredible. You guys have been absolutely incredible tonight. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, there is a subscriber feature on these live streams. I don't know how to do it, but if you guys can find that little star and subscribe, that would mean the absolute world. Thank you, Alfie. I really appreciate that. But yeah, so that was. I think it was a perfect recipe. So I think there's a few reasons that I can figure out why that video did so well. A, it was a familiar setup. People were familiar with that setup of the punchlines. B, it's characters everyone knows. C, we're in full costume. And quite accurate costumes. Like, everyone turned out and put in a lot of effort to make their costumes really, really good. We're in the graveyard. We have that location, so it feels a little bit more legit. We have the mystery machine, which a lot of people are like, oh my god, is no one going to talk about how they have the mystery machine? I'm like, that's unfortunately not ours. I would my dream is to own the mystery machine. But it is a guy called Greg's who is very kind. You know, we've had that experience twice now. We rented it for Comic-Con, and then he said, come back when you have the full gang for free, which was incredible. And yeah, and I wonder if part of the reason is also there's another TikToker who does if something was Scottish type videos, but his delivery is different because he does like this stereotypical Ouija accent and makes it like, makes Harry Potter a bam and things like that, and whatever he does. Real graveyard. Oh yeah. Real graveyard with a real crypt in it. It was a real church. If you watch the Scooby-Doo in real life video that we did, where we recreated the Scooby-Doo intro, we're shooting in a real church there. Oh yeah, that was incredible, with a real graveyard. Yeah, no, that one in particular. Obviously, if Scooby-Doo was Scottish went viral, and that's the one that engaged everyone. But if you ask me which one my favourite is, which one I put more editing time into, which one I put my heart and soul into, and which one I've wanted to make for years, I've always wanted to make a live-action recreation of the Scooby-Doo intro. So if you're going to ask me which one my favourite is, it's that one. Because to edit it together, to do shots like Sebastian popping out the barrel, to recreate certain shots, like, to get Michael, who is Shaggy, to eat the massive sandwich, things like that. Those iconic bits. That would fit more like the purest representation of my love for Scooby-Doo. Would you rather adopt William or adopt me? You'd both die either way. I'd be a terrible parent. I'm gonna say I'd rather adopt you. I think you'd be less of a handful. I already have to babysit William sometimes. It's not that bad, but I had to make sure he bought his ID earlier because he couldn't get his ID. Yeah. But yeah, so if you ask me which one my favourite... can you read one of your books again? I love the way you did it. My voice is kind of shot right now. God, I've gone over 9 o'clock, Jesus. Why do you guys watch these things? Why do you watch us for 2 hours or 3 hours? We do live streams every week, and we ramble for 3 hours. And you guys stick with it. I don't know how you do it. I don't know why you do it. God. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate it. But I don't get it. I don't get why you guys keep coming back for more. But yes, if you guys would like to do more stories, I won't do one tonight, but I will. I'll tell you what. I will sit down and I'll do the other 2 stories on another live stream at some point. Yeah, like maybe if we have time, if we have time on the Sunday after playing the games, we could all sit down and take a crack at the voices. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what time it is, because obviously we've got our Pokemon one to do as well. I really appreciate it. How long are you being on this live? I was meant to have finished by now, but you guys are just being so lovely, and I keep. No, absolutely. I'm glad you enjoyed the voices. Yeah. So, if you want someone who can actually do voice work, much better than I can, William is the guy who could do that. Go on his account. That's another call to action, guys. Sorry, I know there's a lot, but another call to action, and this one is free. Will cost you nothing, and will bring you joy, and hopefully more live streams. And that is please go and follow William's account, toxic_spells, as in magic spells. Follow that account, because if you do that, and that account gets up to 1,000 followers, we then have another account where we can live stream from, which either means William and I don't necessarily have to be in the same room. Usually we are, but that time where I was home in Fife and he couldn't join the live stream for the Star Wars quiz, or I couldn't join over video chat when I was in Tenerife. It's always my fault. I'm always going places. But yeah, so it gives us, but also more importantly, it supports William and gives him more support. But it also means that, for example, Emma, who is our Daphne, she lives in Glasgow. We live in Edinburgh. That's a hell of a trek to make just for these live streams or just to make content. And she's done it. She's done it twice. She was on the Scooby-Doo live stream, and she was on the Batman Villains live stream. But for example, she's not able to make it this Sunday because that's a hell of a trek. And I totally understand that. However, if she was able to use William's account, and we had another account with 1,000 followers that we could say, right, log into this one, and it gives us the opportunity to have guests on without necessarily making them come here. Just a thought. So, yeah, please go support. Who's your favorite person? Who is my favorite person in the... Oh my god. Who's my favorite person? I'm not answering that. That's like making someone answer who their favorite kid is. No. Genuinely, I love all the support you guys have given us. That genuinely means the world. Pay rise deal. Oh, good. I was wondering if the strikes would do anything. That's good news. I bet you it'll still be chump change. That's the sad truth of it. Like, I bet you it's not as much as they're asking or needing. The fact that people are having to strike to get a pay rise during a cost of living crisis is fucking awful. Like, think about that. Everything's become more expensive and people are having to stop working to force people to pay them more. That's disgusting. So obviously another thing is we stand by people who strike. Because strike action gets union action, which gets people human fucking dignity and respect. Especially for people like nurses and teachers. The people doing important work. So that's good news. Thank you, David, for sharing that. That is good news. 450. Huh. I never really go to Asda. I got bad experience with their muffins and never went back. What would you do if the sun exploded? Die. We'd all die, Alfie. If the sun exploded, we'd know about it for less than a second. Yeah. Apparently, one day the sun is going to do that. Like it will. Like people have calculated it's gonna die in the next million years or something. It's not gonna affect us, but there we go. You'll never know how much it means, because I did think that doing the live streams every week was a gamble. But when I first for those of you who don't know, when TikTok only allows you to live stream if you have 1,000 followers or more. When we uploaded that If Scooby-Doo Was Scottish video, I had it 800. I couldn't live stream. I didn't really have any intention of live stream. We got that, and I was like, oh, Jesus. That video hit 2 million overnight. 2 million overnight. That's crazy. Most of my videos don't even hit 200. Or didn't at the time. That's quite scary. So it was pretty. Yeah, Red Giant. Yeah, I'm just rambling now. Like, you don't have to stick with this thing. Oh, is it as late? Oh, I heard. Oh, it's as late as that. We're fine. It's been there for that long, so it's fine. But no, so like I couldn't live stream, and then suddenly I was like, oh, I have this ability to live stream now, and I would just sit in my Marvel room wearing my Riddler jacket, which I know is DC, by the way, don't at me. But it was like, oh, I'll do trivia. I love trivia. So I was just like, let's just do random trivia. Like, one of the things when I was working in a nursery is the kids would come up to me, can we do a quiz? Can we do a quiz? Every day. They love trivia. They loved the fact that I knew about princesses and superheroes. They loved the fact that if I didn't know something, I'd research it for them. I'd find out about Paw Patrol for them. You know? They loved that. So, every day, can we do a quiz? I was like, maybe that'll translate to a TikTok audience. I don't know, maybe people love trivia. I mean, we go to a trivia quiz not every Tuesday, but most Tuesdays at Pilgrim. So I was like, I love trivia, you love trivia, let's just do trivia. And people really engage with it. And I'm like, oh, this could be a thing where we could do this in costume. Like, do a specific theme. Kind of do what Pilgrim does. Because every time we go to the Pilgrim one, I dress up. Because I'm a nerd. So if it's a Lord of the Rings one, I'll dress as a Hobbit. If it's a Avengers one, I'll dress as Hawkeye. If you don't know, Hawkeye is my favourite Avenger. This account used to be called Hawkeye of Hawkkill. But so I was like, oh, maybe this will be the thing. And I was like to William and Nick, should we try and do one of these every week like we do at Pilgrim? Can we do it? Can we keep up with that schedule? Not only coming up with a quiz every week, but wearing a costume for it. Fun challenge, huh? And now we're 3 months? We've done it for 3 months now. And you guys have turned up every single time. Stuck with us for 2 or 3 hours. I don't know how or why. Even for the Batman one, you guys were watching the live stream when the live stream cut out and was just sound, and people were still engaging. So the support is very much appreciated because we're very new to this. We went from having 800 followers to 13,000. So 30,000 even. So 30,000. In a very short space of time. And that growth meant, I was saying this to someone earlier. You know that old adage the old phrase from Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. Well, I thought when that stream exploded, I thought, 30,000 is massive for us. But in TikTok terms, it's, or influencer terms, it's, small. And that's why I like it. I want to specify that's why I like it being small. But what I realized was, with great power comes great responsibility. But with a tiny bit of power doesn't come a tiny bit of responsibility. It becomes, with a tiny bit of power comes great responsibility. It's just that responsibility, that huge amount of responsibility, is to fewer people, is what I found. So suddenly we're in this position of huge amount of power, small audience, but still a huge amount of power to that small audience. It was the first time that people were saying, "Oh, I saw you in the shops." I'm used to people taking photographs with me because I'm dressed a certain way. I'm dressed as a character they recognize at Comic-Con. But that was the first time people were recognizing us for being us. And that was weird. And then it was also like people were open, people open up on, people open up to us on this. And I've opened up about my mental health and my struggles. So there's a reciprocal sort of sharing and the reciprocal vulnerability there. But the difficult bit of these streams is to remind ourselves that it is technically still a parasocial relationship. And we are still in a position of power, and we have to use that carefully, especially with young people. So yes, another massive first is this is the first time anyone has, reached out and said, "Can you promote a thing? We'll send you this free product." That's the first time that's ever happened. And I was joking with my friends who don't really understand this whole thing. They don't have TikTok. But I was joking with them. What happens when... And I said when. I meant if. And it probably is never going to happen. But I said, hypothetically, when we get so big and we're getting influencers, what influencer deals would we take? What sponsorships would we take? And I was joking, would we sell our souls to Surfshark or Raid Shadow Legends? And I was saying, Surfshark, probably, because they would actually allow us to do sketches or something. Like, they're pretty relaxed. Raid Shadow Legends, no. Because I always want to maintain that if you are going to see, this is a perfect promotion for us. Look at the way I'm dressed. Think one of my favourite cartoonists. Think what this account's called. This makes sense. This is native to our content already. I was going to probably go out and buy this game already. And play it in cosplay. So the fact that this is now content, that's native. That's what you guys have come... it's what you guys have come to expect. When you see a live stream from us, you expect us to be in costume, sharing about our nerdy passions. So that doesn't seem that weird. But if I'm told, no, you've got to say you play Raid Shadow Legends and you love these specific things and you have to do it to camera, no. I'm not going to just promote random crap. If they say, oh, dress up as one of our characters, do a cosplay bit, something cosplay. Yeah, maybe. But that's the thing, it has to be cosplay content, or it has to be native to the stuff. I'm never just going to lie to you guys and say, I love this particular thing. No, I'm not going to do that. Ever. No matter how much money. And I'm also never going to promote things like alcohol or gambling or anything with addictive person, because I'm a recovering how ironic would it be if I ever took an alcohol sponsorship when I'm a recovering alcoholic? How dangerous would that be? So, yeah. Don't worry, the opportunities for us to sell our souls and slut it up are few and far between, But when they do happen, please support us, because it means we've taken careful consideration into what kind of content we're going to do. So we're going to do this in costume, because that's our style. And you guys seem to enjoy tonight, so let's do more stories. I'll reach out to maybe more books, booksellers. I don't know. Would you like us to sit in our Star Wars costumes and do Shakespearean Star Wars, which I have a copy of? Is that something you guys would want? I don't know. Like, if you are aware of any products you think we should test out, I'll reach out to them and say, hey, do you want us to promote it? But yeah, I'm never going to sell my soul just for the money. Because, let's be honest, we all skip those ads if that happens. And I don't want my content just to become white noise. Although apparently some of you guys do just put us on the background. That's great. Like, treat this nonsense like a podcast if you want to. Like, God, the fact that you guys even tune in. You got a ghost in your life, bro. If it's a fake ghost, we're on it. If it's a real ghost, who are you going to call? On that note, I've been rambling for 2.5 hours. You guys